What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to CDT. It is me. Oh dear God, my lag. It is me, Ditto. And today what we're going to be doing is trying every single drift car in CDT apart from what? Oh, my frame rate has gone. Apart from, I think, a couple of the drift season cars. That's like the only one they're the only ones I don't have. So out of the ones I have, I'm missing 2, and we're going to be trying all of them. So yeah. Also, this is going to be made of clips this time rather than a long cut, because my screen recorders are rubbish. Let's get into things with the cheapest drift car, and the cheapest drift car you can buy right now. Actually, the Mazda RX-7 FD Veilside, the Fast and Furious one. Looks nothing like an RX-7, to be honest. I can't steer properly. I don't know why. Driving wise, kind of understeery for a drift car. But drifting wise, not bad. Turn it in. Okay, a little bit too much snapback, to be honest. Like, hold on. Yeah, no, that's kind of too much snapback. But every so often, if you get it right... Oh no, that was not me getting it right. There we go. No. Takes a little bit of difficulty to get the balance between just understeering through a corner effectively, but drifting, and actually probably getting the back end out without it snapping back. Which it does quite frequently. See, there we go. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the easiest car to drift, but it can be quite rewarding when you do. Just don't steer counter drift too hard, otherwise it sort of starts fishtailing, and that's not good. Right, let's move on to the next car. And the next car is this. The Nissan 350Z Veilside. So this is actually the only code car ever, I believe. When Foxy's YouTube channel hit 250,000 subscribers, you could use the code Foxy250k subs to get this little thing. The Nissan 350Z Veilside, like I just said. Now this car's interesting because, as you can see, I've come to a dark area. It's got underglow. Only car in the game to have underglow, actually. CDT made a video about it, actually. I knew that already. It's actually kind of forgotten, though, by people. And for good reason. This car's rubbish. Oh, look. Snapback galore. Turn in, drift. And then it tries to fishtail. Turn in, use the handbrake. Doesn't drift at all. Turn in, use the handbrake. I turned in too early. And now it's just fishtailing. This is not an easy car to get to drift properly. And as for steering, well, for a drift car, even for a drift car, it takes some getting used to, and just isn't very good. I honestly don't see why there were so many people that were like, "Oh, cool, this is amazing." It doesn't even look that good for a 350Z. Even for a modded 350Z, it looks pretty crap. And for a standard 350Z, it looks terrible. And I can't get any good body colours. Also, not much acceleration at the top end from what I can see. Yeah, let's move on from this. And this is what we will move... Oh, I crashed. I did a bad thing already. Yeah, and this is what we're going to move on to. The Nissan S13. Well, the 180SX or the 200SX. I don't know which one it is because they both look the same. This was part of Season 4, the Drift Season. And I don't like it. Way too much snapback. Feels really loose. Like, look at this. Just send it into a drift here. no steering at all, sending it into a hard drift, and it spins. No in between. You're either not steering at all, or you spin. Very simple. Not good. I can see why people just don't use these anymore. Aside from the fact it's an old season car and no one really cares about them. It's crap. Yeah, I'm glad this hasn't returned. I'm glad most season cars haven't. I'm glad it's never returned and we haven't got a replay season yet. Even if it's rumoured that Fox is going to add replay seasons. Yeah. Definitely not contender. In fact, even in normal driving, like, we're just going to turn in here. And that's understeer. Big understeer. Pretty much doesn't turn at all. Not good. You join me at the drag strip with our next car, which is this, the BMW E36 drift car. And the reason why I'm at the drag strip is this. This is one of the fastest accelerating cars in the game. Right up there with another drift car, which you'll see later. In fact, it's also quite a decent driving car. For a drift car standard at least. Compared to, obviously, other cars, it's useless, but for a drift car, normal driving, it's not bad at it. It will surprise you. Ooh, let's see if I can get out of here with dirt tires. Damn it. Yeah, no, we're not making that. Yeah, it's a seriously underrated car. Apart from the fact that people started using them quite a bit when they got removed from the permanent shop. Awkward. But now, now people just use them as drag cars, and that's kind of a shame, because they're forgetting these things can actually drift decently. Maybe not with the verve of some other drift cars you'll see later, but really quite impressively. This is certainly a contender for best drift car, especially considering the fact that standard, these things cost 144 grand. I binned it. These things cost 144 grand. That's really cheap. For a car that will destroy many, many things at the drag strip. Punches way above its weight. And hits. Massively underrated. As a drift car, at least. And on the subject of drifting, there is one... Oh, I crashed it. There is one name that sticks out among the rest, even to people that don't care much about drifting. Ken Block. I'm pretty sure most motorsport fans know his name. Every petrol head will know his name. Every little kid will know his name because he was a legend who sadly passed away last year. This was one of his cars, the Ford Fiesta RX-43. And it's completely forgotten because it's not a Hoonigan. It doesn't have Hoon in the title, therefore it's not one of his, really. And rightfully so, I do not like this. It does have a cool wrap, but... Oh, it's handling better. Have they changed the handling since I did this shoot yesterday? They have. Yesterday it was fishtailing wildly. I haven't changed the rubber. And yet today it feels really good. It actually works quite decently as a rally car as well. Especially considering in the rally race you can use the handbrake to good effect. Especially in a couple of the really tight bends. This feels completely different to yesterday. I'm genuinely surprised. This was part of the first Drift event, which was also part of the first Drift update. where we got the Mazda RX-7 and this as well. So the Mazda RX-7 Vale side. Feels really good. In fact, even in normal oh, there's the first sign of snapback. But even in normal driving, we turn in. It's still not bad. Really hard. It's really not half bad. I've completely changed my mind on this car. Oh, my graphics quality is going. Well, this is rubbish, isn't it? Really good car. And it's a shame that no one cares about it. Good show. And a car I've spoken about recently that also puts up quite a good show, despite the fact I just spun it, is the Toyota GT86 Pro, the drift car. I praised it in a recent video for not being talked about much, despite being, oh god, I just crashed it again, a pretty amazing drift car. It's also got the silly acceleration, just not to the same extent as the BMW. That parking was smooth and you can't tell me otherwise. Even if it's not to the same extent as the BMW's acceleration. I crashed it again. I suck at drifting. Even if, to be honest, if they were going to put in a GT86 drift car, I would rather they used... Oh no. Donut Media, is it a GT4586 or is it a GR4586? I can't remember. Either way, it's not this. Even if this is criminally underrated, yes, it snaps back quite a bit, but sometimes you can get some pretty good drifts out of it. Like that. Even if I did just thunk it into a wall. You know what, I'm fed up of crashing this. Let's move on to the next car. Isn't it funny how I hate pretty much all of my wrapped cars? This is the Nissan S15 Falcon. It's one of the earliest limiteds I got, because I didn't know it was a limited. Seriously, I'm not even joking. When this came back in the permanent shop, in the limited store at Christmas, I was like, hold on, what the yeah, that one was interesting. God damn it, I crashed. Yeah, this is an interesting car. I don't like it. Yep, OG wrapped cars and me don't tend to go together that well. I hate pretty much all of my OG limiteds. Apart from the Corvette C8R. That one's my baby. I've crashed it again. God damn it. Whereas with this, snapback. Need I say more? Well, I will, because I don't care if you need it or not. Understeer? Yep, that's pretty common in these. Does pretty good J-turns, but then pretty much every other car does. Turn in, handbrake. Not a fun car, to be honest. Mildly terrifying to drift. Oh, that drift to the building was smooth, even if I am now fishtailing. There we go. Only took a small amount of time, hey? But yeah, this one's not easy to drift. Tends to slow down quite a bit in corners. Very difficult to handle. Not the most enjoyable thing. Let's move on. Do you think I'm still in the same car? Because it's certainly the same wrap, only I'm not. This is the Corvette C6 Pro, a car that outdated the Silvia by quite... Did it outdate the Silvia? Oh, that's a good point. I don't think it did outdate the Silvia. I think these cars came out at the same time, but the Silvia took longer to get its wrap because this thing had a wrap from day one. It was also part of the drift event, like the Fiesta, which also had the wrap. Unfortunately, this had the wrap of the Silvia first, which means that the Silvia's wrap is very underwhelming, and this has sort of faded to obscurity. And rightfully so. It's rotary engined, this car, I believe. Too much snapback. Pretty difficult to control. From this angle, it looks like a pickup truck. Wait, is there actually glass in there? Yeah, there is. It just looks like a pickup truck. Weird. And it's American. Americans don't make drift cars. Neither are the Germans supposed to, but there we are. Actually, no, there is one American who can make drift cars. Mr. Ken Block. But, as for this, Corvette, no. America, you like straight line drive. Nearly crashed it again. You like your straight line driving. Stick to it. Please. Don't ruin drifting. And I fucked that up as well. Great. Okay, so I know I just said Americans shouldn't make drift cars. You know, drifting tends to be a Japanese thing. Don't get the Germans involved either. Actually, no. They can get involved. The E36 was good. This is good as well. This is the Toyota Supra. Sorry. BMW Z4 drift car. Because they're pretty much the same thing. It's got the body of a Supra because it is actually designed to be a Mark V Supra. But all Mark V Supras use Z4 underpinnings and BMW parts bin things. So this is still a Z4 in my eyes. Which is good because I don't like the Mark V Supra. However, I do like this. It also has amazing acceleration. And it also drifts really quite well. I mean, I can turn it in here. I just screwed that up. I can turn it in here. See? Oh, damn it. I spun. Trying to show people that this drifts well. And then, there we go. No. How come in all my other shots you're drifting really well, but then the moment I make this one... There we go. No, understeer. Understeer. I promise you it drifts well. Just doesn't drift well on camera. Just like me. Normal driving wise, it's also pretty decent. Maybe a little bit, It likes to smoke the tyres, which is interesting. But don't be, put off by that. It's just trying to put you off. Little cheeky bugger. Let's move on. And we certainly will move on. Oh. Yep, that's what we call lag, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. This is the Ford... I flipped it! This is the Ford Hoonie truck. Yep, another of Ken Block's cars. You'll see his name pop up a little bit, well, a lot in this list. It's also the most recent drift car to be added, I think. It was actually available up until the aviation update, a couple of weeks ago now. It's not a bad truck either. In fact, I might just be able to 360 it. Very good. Drifts really well, actually. Maybe a little bit of an acquired skill, but doesn't take long to acquire this skill. And when you do acquire it, it's really fun. I mean, this has got to be one of the best drifting, like, you know, easiest to drift cars in the game. Just turn it in, put a little bit of opposite lock in. If the tail starts to shake, just counter steer and it will not spin. You know, I reckon most people could drift this car. And in normal driving, yeah, it does require a bit of work. More so than some drift cars. But mainly, it's really good. And, I thought I was my dealer for a moment. And, that's why it's one of Ken Block's cars, because his cars tend to be really good. Nice one, Ken. You might think this is just a random two-tone Ford Mustang. This has got 3 extra letters on it. R, T, and another R. Which means that with those extra colours, a little bit of extra LEDs around the grille, and some cool little body extras, it can do this. Yep. Up until Season 7, this was the best accelerating car in the game. The Ford Mustang Unicorn RTR. No, not Unicorn. That's a different thing. But it is a Mustang, and it does drift. Really bloody well, actually. But no one really cares about the drifting of this thing because it'll just shock everything at the drag strip. Who needs to go sideways when you can go in a straight line? That's just the motto of America, though, isn't it? But people actually do tend to forget that this is a drift car. And for good reason. It's two-tail happy. I mean, it does have quite a bit of fishtailing problems. Sometimes you can get good. No. Oh god, that's the river. That was a drift tap. Yeah, this is pretty shocking to drift. Way too much fishtailing problems. Oh, I fixed it. It's called having skill. And what I was having before was what we know as a skill issue. Yep, AR-12 reference. Damn it, I crashed. Yeah, we ought to move on from this one. All that you're supposed to do with this is drive it in a straight line now. Who needs to go sideways when you can go very, very fast in a straight line? Oh, look. It's an old Ford Mustang. Aren't they cool? What a nice throwback to the old days. What'll it do sideways? Oh. Yeah, this is the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn. What I accidentally called the RTR earlier. It's brilliant. This was the first drift car added into the game. Ken Block's masterpiece. Like, this is the most iconic Ken Block car. Absolutely 100%. There's no way anyone's heard of Ken Block without hearing about this. They might have even heard of this without hearing about Ken Block. Which is interesting. And it's really done justice in CDT. I mean, seriously, this is such a good car to drift. Very easy. Can snap back sometimes, but it's highly unlikely that you'll ever see it snap back. And it just drifts forever. I mean, you can even chain drifts without having to use the handbrake much. That's good. Yeah, my dealer moved because I disconnected. Who cares? This is such a good car. Maybe cornering-wise, it's pretty terrible. Maybe I don't actually care. Sideways is all that matters with this car. And boy, does it do it well. What a brilliant tribute to Ken Block. And apparently it won't come back. So if you've got one of these, you've nabbed yourself quite a rare car. And a very special one at that. Now, you might be wondering for this, oh, what's Wi-Fi at this point? What is my Wi-Fi? You might be wondering, Ditto, why are you on the circuit? I just crashed. Well, put it this way. This is the Porsche 912 Huni Pegasus. Another of Ken Block's cars. And the reason why I'm on the circuit is because it's one of the best handling cars in the game. It's been nerfed quite a bit. And it's still brilliant. I used to main this car all the time, and I used to easily beat things like the Lotus Evire, which I recommend massively. Now what they've done is they've decreased the grip quite a bit, which does take a little bit of getting used to. But when you do get used to it, which I haven't, it's brilliant. It's honestly amazing. You do not know how fun this car is. Just on the circuit alone, four-wheel drifting through corners, you know, lifting, properly feeling the road because it bounces quite a bit, while desperately trying to keep control of it, is very, very entertaining. And we haven't even got to the best part bit yet. Yes, it's pink. Yes, it's a wrap. Don't question it. I like the stickers. The best part of it is, well, it's actually not a good drift car. Which means it's automatically the best drift car. Because drifting, well, I don't care much for it. I want a track car. And this does count as a drift car because it was part of the drift season. And it was actually one of Ken Block's cars. Which means, therefore, it's a drift car. Don't argue with me on this. Yes, I am running slick tyres right now. And even this... Hold on, let's put it on standard rubber. Because it actually drifts on standard rubber. Pretty decently as well. It's got that silly acceleration. Okay, maybe it needs a bit of work on standard rubber. But every so often you can hit some pretty amazing drifts. But I keep it on slicks. Because slicks and doing races are where this car excels. Wait, hold on, this wasn't drift season. This was season 3. My bad. Okay, maybe this isn't a drift car. But it's Ken Block's, so we count it. And it's definitely the best drift car. Thanks for watching. Argue with me in the comments all you like, I honestly don't care. I've had fun making this. Good. I crashed it. Damn it.